Thousands of people took to the streets in France on Saturday to mourn the death of a far-right activist who died in violent clashes last week. US President Donald Trump has increased global tariffs from 10 to 15% after a Supreme Court decision struck down his sweeping import taxes.
Hezbollah says 8 of its members were killed in Israeli airstrikes on the eastern Lebanese region of Baalbek on Friday.
3,200 people took to the streets in the French city of Lyon on Saturday to mourn Quentin Durand, the 23-year-old far-right nationalist who died during clashes between political activists last week. The march, promoted by far-right organizations, took place under heavy police presence.
Je voulais honorer la mémoire de Quentin. Je voulais marcher avec toutes les personnes qui sont révoltées comme je le suis. Parce que c'est totalement anormal que quelqu'un soit lynché, un jeune homme, mais n'importe quelle personne, lynché comme ça au sol, de façon plus que violente.
7 people now face charges of intentional homicide. Among the suspects is a parliamentary aide linked to the far-left party, France Unbowed.
On ne peut pas renvoyer dos à dos comme l'a fait le président de la République, l'extrême gauche et l'extrême droite. Pour moi, à droite, il n'y a pas d'extrémisme en ce sens où il n'y a pas de volonté d'agression.
President Macron has called for calm, pledging to review and potentially dismantle violent activist groups across the political spectrum. With president elections looming, France's deep political fractures are no longer simmering beneath the surface, but spilling onto the streets. US President Donald Trump has said he will effectively immediately raise the global tariffs on countries from 10 to 15% after the Supreme Court ruled his sweeping tariffs exceeded presidential authority on Friday. The ruling dealt a major blow to Trump, striking down what has been one of the biggest pillars of his economic policy. The US president seemed unfazed, however, and says with the new levies he plans to introduce, Washington is set to make even more money than before.
We are doing the various investigations necessary to put fair tariffs, or tariffs period, on other countries. So we're doing that period, but we're immediately instituting the 10% provision, which we're allowed to do. And in the end, I think we'll take in more money than we've taken in before.
Trump's tariffs have been in deliberation at the US top court for months. 6 of the 9 justices voted to outlaw his sweeping measures, which went into effect in August. The ruling puts much of the revenue earned from tariffs in question, and also trade deals brokered by the Trump administration, including the one with the European Union.
Hezbollah says 8 of its members were killed in Israeli airstrikes in the eastern Lebanese region of Baalbek on Friday, including several local officials. One of those dead was Hussein Yaghi, son of Muhammad Yaghi, a Hezbollah founder and close aide to the late leader Hassan Nasrallah, who was killed by Israel in September 2024. Israel also confirmed on Saturday that its strikes had eliminated several Hezbollah members in what it says were 3 command centers in Baalbek. The IDF said in a post that those members were ramping up the group's readiness and allegedly planning attacks against Israel, but provided no evidence. Lebanon's health ministry earlier noted that 10 people were killed in the strikes, including 3 children, and a further 24 people were wounded. Doctors in the nearby Riyadh hospital confirmed that they had received the bodies of 10 people and were treating 21 others who had sustained injuries. Hospital officials said that 2 of those killed and 5 of the injured were foreign nationals from Syria and Ethiopia.
7 people died on Saturday after a car fell through the ice at a lake in Russia's Serbian region. They were all tourists from China. According to local media, the car was travelling outside of an official ice crossing when it went underwater at a depth of about 18 meters. Only 1 tourist managed to get out. The driver and 7 others died, including a couple with a 14-year-old child. In winter, Lake Baikal becomes a popular tourist destination. However, ice thickness can change dramatically due to wind, currents, and high temperatures.